Well, hello out there, all my face group members. I have the pleasure today of introducing a good friend of mine. And I've known Dr. Clark for quite a few years, around 20 or 30 years, isn't it right? I mean, it's a blink of an eye.
Yeah, actually, it is definitely closer to 30. I attended several of your seminars back in the 1990s, but I think we really bonded at a Total Solutions, and that's well over a decade ago. We've been working together on and off ever since.
Well, you know what? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. This is very interesting, people.
Well, sure, I've been a chiropractor in Washington State for over 30 years. In fact, I just sold my chiropractic wellness center and retired from active practice.
Mm, I tell you what, yeah, I know you love chiropractic, and I understand you're no longer adjusting, but you have a love for chiropractic. You're still involved with empowering chiropractors and other people. Isn't that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be a chiropractor through and through until the day I die, which, quite frankly, I'm hoping is far, far into the future. I love with chiropractors these days.
Oh, well, I'm hoping for overtime as well. So, now you work with chiropractors and other professionals to release their inner potential. Which I totally believe is a game changer, a huge game changer. How do you do that?
Well, you know how stress is everywhere these days? We have stress in our personal lives, we have stress in our professional lives, and oftentimes stress triggers a reaction that we can't seem to control. And what's most interesting is that generally we're not even aware that we're being triggered because it's all happening at a subconscious level. In some cases, the stress reactions can seem quite mild, and other times they're like landmines. But in either case, they inhibit us from maximizing our personal potential.
Wow, very, very well said. I love that. Tell me more about these triggers because it sounds very interesting, especially the line landmine.
Well, for the most part, these triggers come from our childhood. And even if you had an amazing childhood, we've all had stressful moments as children. And if those stressors were not soothed when they happened, it's as if we stuffed those memories deep in our subconscious brain, where we thought we'd never see them again.
Wow. Well, how do these hidden memories from childhood affect us in our adulthood?
We think, hey, I'm good, but we're not good. Those stressors eventually surface as triggers. It's kind of like when we cleaned our room as children and we stuffed all the toys into the closet. And then when you open the closet door, all those toys came falling out. Well, that's kind of a metaphor for the stress that builds up in our lives. It builds and builds and builds until it comes crashing down on us.
Hmm. You know, most people don't realize how stress impacts their health and how long it's been there. You're right. They firstly say, "I'm good." I said, "Really?" And they go, they kind of get, well, not really, but just like chiropractic, structural stress causes unhealthy neurological patterns, which takes years to develop from childhood, and it's an unhealthy journey. It's amazing.
Well, remember what Dee Palmer said about the causes of subluxation? He said trauma, toxins, and autosuggestion. And today we might call that physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress.
Wow. I'm starting to see this is the missing link. Seriously, the key of the stumbling block for people, reaching their potential and getting to the next level. And I think this is huge. It's the other third of the triangle, if you will. Tell me more.
Right. As chiropractors, we're taught that in addition to adjusting the spine to correct subluxations, we need to focus on rebuilding health and preventing dis-ease. For the biochemical component, I would provide nutritional supplements, nutritional advice. For the physical component, I'd give home exercises and stretches, but I didn't want to delve into that emotional component. Like you said, I was only addressing two-thirds of that triangle.
Yeah. So, did you set out to learn this and how to deal with the emotional stress component?
Oh, absolutely not. It was purely a case where the doctor became the client.
Hmm. Well, how did that occur? Or should I ask, why? What's the why behind your passion? Because you're so passionate about this.
Well, it's a long story, so I'll be brief. Like so many
Okay.
people out there, chiropractors, healthcare professionals, business owners, I felt unfulfilled. I felt stressed out. I felt burned out. I felt like my potential was not being recognized. I knew I needed to change something, or I'd risk going around in the same circles over and over and over forever. I could have blamed it on the stress caused by the pandemic, but that wasn't it. Uh, that might have been the icing on the cake, but these feelings have been building inside of me for years.
Wow. I see this in chiropractors all the time, Dr. Clark. So many are stressed out, I'm burned out, and sadly, so many are not living up their full potential. Why can't I get to that next level? How did this change? You change your step for yourself with this technique?
Well, I was confiding my worries and concerns with a close friend of mine. She told me that my issues may actually stem from childhood stressors. And these stressors were buried deep in my unconscious brain, or I didn't even feel them. My friend actually took this a step further by suggesting I try a few sessions of a modality that was designed to get to the root cause of those trapped emotions. She told me it was based on cutting edge neuroscience. And even though I was honestly highly skeptical, I took a leap of faith and I scheduled several sessions.
Hmm. You know what? Everybody does that. Everybody's like, well, you know what? Well, if I try, but what happened when you did try those sessions?
Well, the changes in my life were at first quite subtle. I didn't feel as stressed out, but I thought, hey, maybe I'm just having a good week. My wife noticed some changes, and so did my friends and even my clinic staff. Uh, they told me I was becoming more confident, and that led me to becoming more self assured. My professional life was changing, my personal life was changing. Uh, these aspects were just improving over and over and over. So now, fast forward as months became years, and my life is still changing for the better. Instead of feeling unfulfilled, I feel content. Instead of feeling stressed out and burned out, I feel energized and enthusiastic. And now I feel like my potential is unlimited.
Wow, wow, that's incredible. And after this, then you decided, hey, I want to learn this too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was so impressed with what was happening in my life. I knew I needed to learn more. I needed this in my toolbox. So after
Hmm.
study, I'm happy to say I am now an advanced certified as a coach for this amazing modality.
Well, it's good for you. So you studied and you learned this technique. How's this technique work?
Well, remember that closet metaphor where everything came crashing down? Well, when we use this technique, we work to prevent that crash from happening, or at least soften the blow if it does. And just like chiropractic adjustments, each session builds on the prior sessions.
Hmm. Wow, wow. I tell you what, I'll let you know a little secret. Okay. I've been a client here with Dr. Clark for several months now because I truly believe that I need to, experience things myself. And he's absolutely correct. I mean, what he says, the results at first is subtle, then profound. It's really cutting edge.
Yeah, it's so totally different than talk therapy. In fact, I want to be clear, I am not a therapist. I prefer the term coach.
Mm. Well, I know, you've helped me with a number of issues I was totally unaware of. I'm like, I didn't realize it, but they did, like, they triggered. He's right. And I realized, I mean, I appreciate you, Dr. Clark. I would encourage listeners, hey, to check it out. And that was just like he did. He gave it a shot, leap of faith, if you will. Because you have nothing to lose but those subconscious baggage that's, holding you back and achieving from your dreams and desires in life.
I know we've joked about the changes in the subconscious brain being like pulling out the weeds, roots and all, from those past traumatic events and planting flowers in their place.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Well, I certainly feel like my mental garden has blossomed, is blooming, and thank you for that again. I appreciate it. So is there anything else you want to add? How can people get in touch with you?
Sure. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Clark, and I believe that everyone deserves to live a life of unlimited potential. If you're looking for a breakthrough and a brighter future, I invite you to click on my scheduling link and schedule a complimentary discovery and strategy session.
Oh, that's awesome. I think though, if I'm not mistaken, because memory's not that good, you said something about a special. Is that okay to mention that?
Sure, any one of Dave's clients and friends who chooses to book sessions with me can receive 50% off. When we do our initial discovery session,
Wow.
I'll go ahead and give you a special code that will give you that 50%. Just be sure to do this before the end of the year.
That's right. Wisdom is knowledge rightly applied. Well, that's very generous. And all you need to do out there is respond before 2022. Don't hesitate. If your year is going to be like the same year, it's like, oh, this year will be different, and it's still not different, then guess what? You got to make a change for once in your life, just for once in your life. And so make 2023 be a remarkable and beyond. Do something you've never done before, then guess what? You'll get something you've never had before to that next level. It's the key, in success in life. So we want you to be a participator, not a spectator. You've been a spectator long enough. So here's my philosophy. You know me, Mr. Oops, on this side, game face. Get your head in the game face on, and you need to stand up, to speak up, to show up, boom, to blow it up. This time next year, you'll be like thanking us for participating in this. So let's get your game face on. So I don't end any of my videos without game face. So on the count of three, Dr. Clark will do game face. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Game.
Game face. There you go. All right. Look forward to hearing from you. And you have any questions, please contact them. I'm sure when this is posted, we'll have the link and all that to put on there.
Absolutely.
Okay. So have a great weekend. And I'm excited this year because I always say you got to go deep and steep. You'll reap and keep. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.